Just out of the refeed weekend and on, I think it's week 3 now of reverse dieting. And I've got some cool updates for you guys as we head to Walmart to do some shopping. So, interesting update number 1. I just kind of wanted to walk you guys through what I was having for my refeed days. So Saturday and Sunday, what I ate, what I did. You know, if you opt to do this, what kind of things might you expect? And thing number 2, to update you on where we're at right now with the 36-hour fast that I'm going on. So after I came out of my refeed, I was like, you know, I'm very full. My glycogen's very full. I feel very full. I just want a day to kind of let my body reset and let all that food do its whole processing thing and give my digestive tract a bit of a break. And to that end, I am 22 hours deep into my 36-hour fast. It will end tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. And then I'll be able to have food again, and we'll be having a 3,000 calorie per day for this week. I'm going to be moving that up, which is pretty nice. And as far as for what I had this week for my refeed, I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. Saturday comes around, woke up, fasted, did my fasted cardio, did my fasted workout, and then I went and had 2 butterscotch protein shakes from my gym. And then I had a small bag of probiotic prunes and apricots, which honestly, that was probably my favorite thing that I had all week, was that meal. And then I went home and was meeting my parents for brunch. We went to this local kind of hole-in-the-wall restaurant, which is pretty cool. And they had these gigantic cinnamon rolls there. So, of course, I had a gigantic cinnamon roll and had a bowl of chili with it. And it was kind of nice because as I've gone through this, my tastes have adjusted and I have been less craving sugar. And I actually kind of tasted it and I'm like, this just tastes almost, kind of has a funky aftertaste after it, I guess would be the best way to put it. It tastes almost fake. It doesn't taste good to me. And that's honestly a very good turning point for me, so I'm very happy about that. And after I had the cinnamon roll and I had the chili, I couldn't finish either of them. The portion sizes was just gigantic. I went home and I went for a mile and some change walk, reading my book at 50% incline on the treadmill, which was a blast because it's a great book and it's just nice to kind of doink around on the treadie like that. And then after I did that, what's up guys? After I did that, to continue on the refeed, I had a snack during lunch, which was just a couple protein shakes that I got as free samples that I wanted to try, some more probiotic prunes and apricots because really enjoy those. And then I had on some of my pictures I was posting there, I had a rice cake, chocolate rice cake with some chocolate chips and some marshmallow fluff on top. And I had one of those and it was just super sweet, and I kind of burnt my rice cake from when I put it in the microwave to try and melt the chocolate, and it wasn't what I was after, so I threw the second one away. And then I had some pistachios and that was my lunch snack, and I did my taxes. And then about 5:30 rolled around and I decided I was going to have supper, and I wanted to make brownies. I've been wanting to make brownies like all week. What's up guys? How's it going? I can't read your name, but I saw you want a shout out, so I think it says Link Weber. But yeah, what's up guys? But yeah, anyway, so for supper I made some healthier brownies, and basically I got the idea from zucchini bread. And so I tweaked it, so instead of having a cup and a half of sugar added in the brownie mix and stuff like that, all I did was I swapped out a quarter cup of oil for applesauce, and then I swapped out the sweetener for 2 bananas and a handful of chocolate chips. And I added in some walnuts, some crushed walnuts, some coconut flakes, and then baked that up with the other ingredients, obviously, all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, vanilla extract, etc., cocoa powder. And then for the icing on top, I used a baked sweet potato, mashed, mixed it with half a cup of maple syrup, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract and an eighth teaspoon of sea salt. Mix that up with a quarter cup of butter that was slightly room temperature, threw it in the freezer for like 15 minutes, and then I used that to ice my brownies, and it was amazing. And then in addition to that, I had my protein pizza, which is a recipe I stole from Instagram, which is super cool. You just take like plain Greek yogurt, mix it with your all-purpose flour, added some other stuff, bake it, throw some shredded chicken on there, and it actually turned out really amazing. I actually enjoy it more than most other pizzas out there. So I had that, had a ribeye steak, and then I had one of those Rice Krispie nests with a peep in it and some jelly beans, because it's, you know, getting near April. Just talking about my refeed day, guys. That's what we're doing, and kind of walking through it. And then I had, oh man, what did I have after that? I had some sweet potato chips, and I had everybody's cake. I had this slice of everybody's cake. It was this thing that had 3 different layers. One of them was a blondie, one of them was a confetti cake, and one was cheesecake, and it was super good. Really enjoyed it. I think I had a couple other things, but by that point I was getting pretty full, so called it a night. And then woke up the next morning, and I'd finished eating around like 8, so I wanted to wait 12 hours to just kind of have that smaller food window. So around 8:30, I had breakfast, and I wanted to have a nice relaxing breakfast, but my folks and I are turning a barn into an apartment, so my breakfast got kind of rushed. And so for breakfast I had a fruit bowl with some kiwis in it. Been craving kiwis for whatever reason, with some yogurt. And then I had some eggs with cheese on top. I don't normally put cheese on top. It's kind of a splurge for me. And then I had my pastry bowl, which was like 2 toaster strudels, a bagel cut, or not a bagel, a biscuit cut in half, and a French bun cut in half, and then with some butter and jam. And then I had a couple protein shakes with that, and some more probiotic apricots, because I was out of prunes by that point. And then went up to the barn, worked for a few hours, and after I finished working for a few hours, then I went to town to meet up with my buddy, and we went for a walk jog. And a walk jog, I call it that because I'm still recovering from my surgery. And so a walk jog normally would have just been a run that we do. But we did that for about 3.5, 4 miles. Parked at one place, parked the car at the end place that we could just go straight there. Had a couple stops along the way. We stopped into the Pokemon card store. We both like Pokemon. And he actually does his business online through that, so it's pretty cool. And then we went to the Mexican ice cream joint that was closed. Sad. So then we went over to a chocolate shop, and we got some caramel apples and some other stuff. And that was the picture of the caramel apple that I had in there, the fudge, the unicorn poop, the walnut pecan, and the toffee crunch. Very good, by the way. I think the toffee crunch and the unicorn poop were like right up there tying for first place for me. And then I had, you know, pieces off of that to try them. I had part of the like super pretzel thing they had, and half the giant caramel apple that was Reese's pieces all like rolled in it. And then I had a small bowl of ice cream. I had some pizza from a local joint I've been wanting to try. Had like a couple pieces. And then had a little bit of Caesar salad. Had a buffalo or a bison meat burrito that I rolled up. And then I had a couple other sweet treats, a little bit of popcorn. And by that point in time, I was full. So around 6:30 is when I stopped eating. And then just cleaned up. Didn't think I was going to have anything. So I had, that's what it was. I had a couple pieces of celery to finish off the meal. Kind of helped digest. And I see you guys are commenting. I'm sorry I can't read a ton, trying to drive and be safe. But I'll comment on them once I get over to the Walmart parking lot and I hop out there. Promise. And yeah, after that, just had a little bit of veggies, finished up around 6:30, went to bed around 10, woke up today around 6:30, so that was 12 hours deep into the fast. I've just been having water today. It's just a 36-hour fast, so I don't need a ton of electrolytes, especially after yesterday's big meal. And yeah, now we're in the 36-hour fast. Now we are 22 hours deep into that, give or take. And I can tell you I am hungry. My tummy's been grumbling all day. But first, like 16 hours of that fast, I didn't want to eat anything at all. It only really started coming up around like 10 or 11. I started feeling a little hungry and just had some water and kind of pushed through. I am cold again today because I don't have any food to kind of burn or anything like that. So I am cold again today. I've been sitting in a jacket, it's Carhartt heavy duty jacket. Sorry to brush the mic there. Carhartt jacket, and got my little flannel on underneath and my little electric heaters. These guys have been in my pocket all day at work. A friend of mine got these and it was a saving grace moment. So she is amazing. But yeah, we're heading to Walmart now. Got to pick up some milk and tamarind pods, because tamarind apparently helps flush out fluoride from your body. And also they're just kind of a fun pod to try. They're supposed to be a sweet treat, but they're also high in acid, so you're not supposed to let them sit on your teeth or else you can ruin your teeth and stuff like that. So we're gonna go to the store, pick up some tamarind pods, pick up some milk, and then be skedaddling out of there. And then when I get home, I gotta fix up some meals for the next days because I'm not going to be eating anything for supper, so I'm just going to meal prep. And I'm going to be fixing up some zoodles, which is a hip term for zucchini noodles. And I'm going to be fixing up some zoodles, and I use that for my favorite meal that I've had thus far, which is chicken and white sauce. And basically just take some chicken breast and you take your zoodles, and then you take some cottage cheese and you just whip the cottage cheese up. You add some Italian seasoning, some garlic, some black pepper, and then you just throw that all together. You garnish it with some tomatoes, and boom, you've got a low-calorie, high-protein, high-fiber meal with lots of micronutrients that feels good in your stomach, feels good on your body, and is easy on your digestive tract. Has a lot of good probiotics coming in from the whipped cottage cheese, which you don't heat. You keep it cool so you don't kill anything. And that's one of the things I'm going to be whipping up. And then I'll probably prep a couple bison burritos or something to that effect. I am going to be still counting calories this week, so we're going up to 3,000, which is a 1,000-calorie jump from last week. So we're going from 2,000 to 3,000 just because I was actually losing weight during that, and I've been trying to kind of slowly add back weight to get up to where I was around when I started this, but just a little bit healthier and leaner. So we're shooting for around 200 pounds. And right now, this morning I weighed in, I was 184, but most of that is water weight and food. Whenever I was on Saturday and I weighed in, I was 174. And whenever I weighed in at the start of this, I was 170. So I'm probably going to be actually somewhere around 170.5 to 172, give or take, now that I've got more glycogen in my muscles and such and whatnot. And hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be somewhere around 171 to 173 dry. And then I'll be heading in to do my Saturday workout. I'm probably going to pack some at-home butterscotch shakes and pack my probiotic prunes and plums and stuff again, just because paying $14 for 2 butterscotch shakes, like $7 each, is just a lot of money for me, and I don't like spending that when I can spend like $1.50 at home making it myself. You know, what's up, guys? I see some of y'all commenting. I'll get around to it as soon as I park up here, but I'm trying to be safe and drive. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan for today. We're going to be doing some meal prep. Going to be cooking up some chicken breast, barbecue chicken breast. It's my favorite chicken breast to cook way. Throw on some of my favorite Weber's barbecue sauce and cook that bad boy up. And while that's cooking, I'm going to be doing the zoodles on top of the stovetop. And then I got to look and see what other veggies I've got, but I can at least go through one of my zoodle packs that I've got at home. And it's a big one. It's like the Costco ones you get, the Costco zucchini and squash. And I just take that and I throw it into a food processor and just blend the shiznit out of it with a food processor. So it actually does form these kind of light noodles. It doesn't exactly form a spiral zoodle noodle, so to speak. Gosh, I'm getting zoodles and noodles tongue-tied in my brain right now. If you want them to be actual zoodles, you can. You use this thing called a spiralizer or whatever, and it's by hand. But it takes a good solid 10-15 minutes to go through that pack for me, and I can get it done in under 2 minutes with a food processor. So it saves me a lot of time, and I don't like spending that time cranking through the noodles by hand. But that's just me. And then I'm going to be whipping up the sauce, going from there. All right. We have arrived at our destination. And let's get things going. So as far as comments, let me see. How are you doing? Boo, boo, boo. Hi, how are you? Oh, well, hello to all of you. I'm doing well. Just getting ready to go do some shopping here in Wally World. This one's nice because this Walmart has... Well, actually, no, I take that back. This isn't the Walmart that has the tamarind pods. I'm going to have to probably shop for those at another one. But we're going to roll from there and see what we've got. Kind of get things taken care of. And I need to put that up in my car because I don't like UV damage in my car. I'm paranoid like that. But yeah, going to be heading in here real soon and picking up some stuff from the store. And also recycling some plastic bags. Because, you know, saving the universe, one plastic bag recycling at a time. It is windy as heck today. Let's see how many of these I can grab in one hand. All right, we got 2 in this hand so far. 3. Oh, I think we might be able to go for 5. So many I've got. I got 5 of these guys. You just hear the bags rustling in the background. All right, I don't know if they're going to take solid plastic, so that's going to stay in the car. We've got some old Tupperware containers that I'm trying to get rid of. Mike's going to be kind of blustery, so I'm just going to... Whoa. Okay. That was a sign from the universe to pay attention, Colin. And not be looking at the phone while you're walking in an active parking lot. Thank you, God. That's scary as hell. Yeah, once we get inside, I'll start talking a little bit more. It's just windy out here. Give me a sec.
First game they lost this one.
Almost there. Okay, gonna enter the do not enter door because I'm a rebel. All right, let's see. They take plastic, it looks like. And I think I may have filled that up a little bit much. All right, let's get our ingredients and call it a day. And hopefully to God not almost die getting hit by cars in the parking lot again, because that would really suck. All right. Ooh, I am going to get some of this though. So for those of you that don't know, one of my other all-time favorite things is bok choy. Bok choy is a very fun, very buttery dish. Now, this stuff I like because it's a product of the USA. I try not to get too much of my vegetables from Walmart just because 90% of the stuff is from Mexico. And I don't have anything against Mexicans, I don't have anything against Mexico. I do have stuff against the fact that some of their things are grown in human fecal matter as fertilizer, and I don't like that. So let's go to the world's crazy place. That's a lot of plastic. It is a lot of plastic. One might even say it is a plethora of plastic. But yeah, got some bok choy. Bok choy, whenever you you season it right, it's actually, or not season it, steam it. Goodness gracious, having one of those days. Whenever you steam it, it's actually very nice because it turns almost into this type of buttery consistency, which is really, really pleasant, honestly. And it doesn't look like they've got my cottage cheese I want, but that's okay. I got 2 at home that are halfway decent, so we'll just wait on that. Gotta get some milk though. Let's see what we've got over here. Got Organic Valley, Metal Gold Whole Milk, 2%. Really, they've got 1% or no percent over here. And we're going for a gallon because, hey, you gotta sell it by April 1st. Because this weekend I'll be having quite a bit of milk. And I believe that's everything we need. Just those 2 things. Would have gotten tamarind pods if they had them, but they don't. So, no big a deal. Just going to be scooching on around. And they've got some Lunchables. My mom and I were going to go on a picnic. But I think it'll be fun to kind of pick those out with her. So, I'll wait on that. Let's go ahead and get checked out and get everything rolling. Kind of go through there, and then I can get home and meal prep, and it'll be a good day. Jeez, this thing's kind of heavy holding it in one hand. The little guy's kind of like wobbling around. Hopefully it don't break. Excuse me. Thank you. But yeah, that's the plan. Go in, get some milk, get some bok choy, check out, go home. It'll be a good one. Okay. They're doing their thing. And I'm gonna do mine. Let's put you guys there. I'm just gonna look at the ceiling. Because the ceiling's cool. Alright. And this is gonna come to a grand total of $11.56. Yes, indeedy. Okay. Let's get this paid and be on our way. Would you like to round up to donate for the fight for hunger? I will pass today. Thank you, guys. I can get... Oh, sure. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, that goes in there. Let's print our receipt. I'm pretty darn satisfied, so I'm going to give that a 5. And it's time to mosey. And now we're going to have another plastic bag to begin hoarding plastic bags for, so we can make another deposit. You too. Thank you. Now, back into the fray we go. I think that was the absolute fastest I have ever done a shopping trip in my entire life. Normally I get distracted by all the shiny things in the store. And it's going to be windy as feck again, so give me a moment. While we're experiencing the extremely high winds of the country. Just give me a sec, guys. Okay, back in the car. She's just been hitting the middle button, which does nothing. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay, we made it back to the car. We're safe. So it's 5:34 where you're at. That's cool, dude. Nice. I'll be honest, I don't answer the time questions or the place questions because I don't want to get doxxed. But it is a time here. It is a time. Okay, so we've got that all taken care of. Next up, kind of wanted to talk to you guys about what the steps are going to be for this whole reverse diet and what I am hoping to accomplish with it. So, given the fact that I am still recovering from surgery, and that is probably going to be a year-long process, give or take, all the way through October, of slowly adding back 5 pounds a week, I am looking at gently recompositioning my body to be stronger, more muscular, and in less pain. That's the big dream. Which country you're from? States. USA, baby. America. One that everyone hates. Oh, thanks for turning into my lane there, bud. Yeah, good job. I guess everybody makes mistakes. I do too. Okay. Let's head on back home. So, what it's going to look like over the next couple weeks is going to basically be adding anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories per week per the amount of weight that I gain once I hit a satiety point. And so that's probably going to be here in the next week or two. I'm probably going to hit that. I feel pretty good at this amount of calories. And for the short amount of workouts that I'm able to do right now, will probably be my maintenance calories for a while. So that'll probably be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 calories a day. Trying to get anywhere between 1 to 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I know that's not what they recommend, but I'm going to see if I feel better or if I can pack on a little bit more muscle that way. Given that that is a little bit more protein than what they recommend, I am going to be ingesting a lot of water to help keep the kidneys happy. And that's going to be somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 gallons of water a day. That's a scary corner. And yeah, looking at getting back to around 200-ish pounds. Why did you park all the way back here, dude? And seeing how I feel. Ultimately, I do want to see if I can kind of get up to 220 lean, a lean 220, and see how that feels. And if a lean 220 feels good, then I'm going to sorry, just kind of parked behind a weird person right now as I was driving. And see how that feels. And if a lean 220 feels good, then I'm just going to keep on doing it. If it feels a little heavy, then I'll tone back down and go from there. And work out along that. The main things I've been trying to do is incorporate more cardio, more stretching, more of the exercises that are good for you besides just banging weight and clanging weight. And of course, including weightlifting. So weightlifting is still going to be going on at least 3 times a week. And then I'll still have my cardio that I try to put. I should probably put it at the end, but I like to put it in the beginning because otherwise I have a bad habit of not doing it at all. So technically it should be at the end because then you'll have more energy for your heavier weightlifting muscle groups and you'll actually be able to build those. And then you'll have more caloric ability to burn. But given the fact that I tend to get fatigued from using the big muscle groups, I'll either need to split them into 2-a-days or just do the cardio first because that's motivation-wise what kind of works for me. So there's that. But to each their own. And the thing I'm kind of excited for is to see if, with my new mentality, I guess you could say, of being more of a hybrid athlete. So hybrid athletes are people that both do cardiovascular and weightlifting together, and it actually forms a very aesthetic looking body, in my opinion. Very, very nice, because you have the leanness of the runner with the fullness of the weightlifter, and it's very cool. And you're also much more useful. It's like, oh, I got to sprint over here to help this person. Not a problem. Versus I'm so stiff and tight that I can't do anything that's not in this exact plane of movement from doing bodybuilding. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. There's a guy on Instagram I follow. His name's Marcus Hunt. He does marathons, and he has very heavy lifts. Like, he does bench of 400 plus. He does deadlift for, I think, like 700 plus, and then his squat is, I think, 600 plus. Because he had a pretty big combination on all those three lifts. It was pretty cool. So yeah. And he's just like, yeah, you just, you eat a lot, you work out a lot. I'm like, that sounds nice. I like the sounds of that. And I've been getting a little bit more into some of the healthier stuff, and wearing sunscreen, trying to do that. And it just, you feel better about yourself. I feel like you feel better and you look better and your body doesn't hurt as much, and it's just nice. So I've been trying to get into that and those sorts of things. And speaking of supplements and stuff, that was interesting. My buddy recommended an omega 369 supplement. And we're just going to scoot around this guy. So he's going kind of slow. And he said that actually helped his skin feel a lot better. So we've been trying that for about past 3-ish days. Again, didn't have it today because obviously fasting. But after the 36-hour fast gets done, then I will be having that supplement again. It's just darn expensive. It's like $37 for a bottle. It's pricey stuff. But we'll see how it works out, see if it's worth it. The other one was Super Silica, which still hasn't come in the mail. It was supposed to come in Saturday. Then it was supposed to come in Sunday. And then it was supposed to come in today. And it's just been getting pushed off. It's stuck in Boise, Idaho for whatever reason. I don't know why it went to Boise, Idaho, but it did. So we're waiting on it. I'm going to see how it works out. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to go home, going to cook, probably cook up some of the bok choy too. And that'll be another nice light veggie volumetric buttery addition I like to add. Stuff's amazing. Highly recommend steaming it if you've never tried it before. You just got to rinse all of the leaves very thoroughly, because it is a bit of a pain in the butt to get them all clean. And then you just throw them in the steamer and you're done. Good to go. But anywho, I am getting near the dead zone up here, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe for more, like for more, comment for more, all the stuff everybody says. And kind of follow along if you want down and things of that matter. It's been a bit of a crazy year for me, and we're coming out of it well. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyway, catch you guys around. Have a good one.